Welcome back to this final video in the series of Q&A videos regarding Malamarie energy. So let's start talking about fit. So who is this work best suited for and who is it not for? So this is for you if you're self-directed and committed to your growth. Now you've done substantial work on yourself already and your life is functioning well outwardly, but something inside of you feels off and effort has stopped producing proportionate results. You're done with partial answers and willing to go to the root cause, and you can tolerate not understanding the mechanism immediately. Now, this is not for you if you're in an acute mental health crisis requiring clinical support. You need someone to tell you what to do or to decide for you. You may be unwilling to let the process be what it is, or you would prefer to avoid self-reflection, or you need results to be guaranteed in advance, or you may not yet be ready to consider that the pattern begins within you. Now, those who find this work, they're not broken, but are looking for a deeper level of integration that creates alignment in their lives. The people this work serves best are those who have reached the edge of what their intelligence, strategy, and self-reliance can achieve on their own. And they are precisely the kind of person who's taken themselves as far as they can go alone by their own effort. This is someone who's now ready to address the layer that cannot be achieved or reached from the outside. Now, commitment. The question is, what level of commitment is required? Is this a one-time engagement or ongoing work? So the initial contact point is the complimentary clarity call. Now, during this call, I ask you a series of questions to assist my understanding of your situation, what you're hoping to achieve, and to see if we are a good fit. There is no pressure and no obligation to proceed at this point. And the aim is to allow the client to tap into what they want for their lives and what's standing in the way of their having this as a realized state of being. Now, the clarity call helps me understand the shape of your psycho-emotional spiritual world. It's because this underlies your understanding of your own personal reality, and it serves to act as an organizing principle for how the sessions unfold if you, in fact, decide to pursue this work. Now, sessions are offered as a series of 4, and the initial set needs to be completed within 2 weeks. This allows the energy work to gain traction in your field, and if you're familiar with astrology, how I work is not typical. We focus on where the issue the client is looking to resolve is located, and the goal is not to cover the entire chart. Understanding this point of focus is an iterative process between where you are and what the energy work reveals is significant. Now, after the initial sessions, the frequency moves to once a week, and again as a series of 4, because 4 sessions build structure and foundation that is more likely to result in long-term results. Now, the intelligence of the energy targets acute points of interference in the field. This is always the case, but every client is unique in how their system integrates it. So if you consult an astrologer, they'll tell you that something is up to be addressed. This is the timing that's built into how the universe operates. And I've found this to be true in working with clients. When they arrive, there's a readiness in the body-mind complex to release long-held patterns. And what differentiates this work is its capacity to address all the levels of your being at once. The work is not linear, so the goal is not to read the whole chart. Now, some clients may find that 4 sessions are enough, while others find that the depth of what they're addressing benefits from more sustained engagement, not because the work is creating dependency, but because genuine layered patterns do not always resolve quickly. So understand that your whole being shifts when a long-held pattern is released. And this includes a belief, a thought, an emotion, and possibly a physical symptom. Even if you're not consciously aware of all of this, some of these patterns inside of us are decades in the making, necessitating a lengthier approach to release accumulated layers. But when the root cause shifts, the shift is real. So, what is required is the session itself, a period of integration afterward, and honest attention to what is changing. You need only be present to your own experience. So, for the next step, the final step, is how do I know if I'm ready? And what is the first step? So, readiness, in my experience, is not a feeling, it's a decision. You may be realizing that your efforts to date have not produced proportional results. You're ready when you've reached the point where the cost of staying the same is higher than the discomfort of doing something genuinely different. You don't need certainty and you don't need to fully understand how this works before it can work. You need only to have made the decision that something needs to change and that you're willing to let it. Now, if you're reading these answers and finding that something resonates, it's because something in you is quietly recognizing something of value. And this is a sign worth following. So the first step is the clarity call. This is not a sales call, it's a structured conversation in which we assess whether there's an alignment, whether what I do is actually what you need, and whether your system is ready to engage this kind of work right now. Either way, the call is designed to give you clarity on your situation. And if these answers have landed for you, the most useful next step is to reach out and book a clarity call. Here we uncover what you want for your life and what stands in the way of having it. From there, if there's a recognition, we proceed. If not, you leave with greater clarity of your journey regardless. Now you may be curious but cautious, so recognize there's no commitment required to have this conversation. There's only the decision to find out for yourself. So this completes the Q&A segments for Malamarie Energy. Now, if you're curious to know more, please check out the links below for more information. Thank you very much for your time.